The JJS update is finally here after 2 months, and it's brought the Ryu release, the Kuro release, and the Yuta Rework, along with a couple other changes to other characters. And so I'll be doing a summary of all the changes, and there should be a timetable on the screen for you to jump to the part you're interested in. Starting with Yuta, he's got a full rework on everything. Severing Path now launches them into the air at the end, and it also hits grounded. Resolute Slash was fully reworked. Instead of teleporting to an opponent, it now teleports to where your cursor is, and it can no longer be blocked. Also, for the Black Flash, instead of being a finisher, you now double tap it like Yuji's Black Flash. The Black Flash also allows you to teleport a second time. Veil Step has been replaced by Outburst, which is a small slash followed by an explosion. And you can hold it down for a larger explosion. And this move is actually really useful. Well, first of all, it goes through block. It goes through block after you charge it. It goes through block after you charge it twice. It goes through block when it's fully charged. But what's really nice about it is that even though the first slash can be countered, it actually still hits them with the explosion. The last new move is Second Wind, which is just a grab. If you miss it a first time, you get a second try. And it's blockable. It can't hit grounded, but you can catch them if you uppercut them. Vika got a good handful of changes. They straight up removed Vika Throw, which, I don't care because it's kind of useless. They changed Vika Down Slam into Vika Smash, which is about the same move except it goes slower and it bounces them off of the floor. Vika Launch works the exact same way. It launches you up and it allows you to feint moves. And Vika Haymaker is now blockable from the front, although it still hits them from behind. And the biggest nerf is that they all now share the same cooldown of 13 seconds. Now, before I get into the Awakening, I should state that they've actually reworked Vika's copy passive. First of all, if Vika kills anyone in base, it gives her the copy move for Awakening, it saves it, because Vika has a completely new copy system where her fourth move in Awakening is now Copy Wheel. How the wheel works is when you use a move, it'll have a little timer next to it on the wheel, and that'll tell you the time on it specifically, because for some reason, each copy move has its own cooldown, so you can rapid fire them back to back to back if you've got 4 saved up. Onto the Awakening. Yuta has a new animation for his Awakening, and he has a completely new animated set of M1s, and every single M1 except the last one is a double hit, which makes him very strong at one-shids. Elbow Rush works the exact same. It's unblockable, and it counts as a Vika attack, meaning it gives you charges towards copy moves. When you're using Elbow Rush, it's worth noting that the direction they're knocked away is the opposite of where your camera is. So, you can shift lock, and it'll always knock them behind where you're looking. The copy first speech variant is still the exact same, and it's still blockable. I think that's a new voice line now. True Love Beam, which was his original 3, got transferred to his Vika moveset, and so it's been replaced by Energy Ripple. And so obviously it's an unblockable AoE. If you double tap it, it'll do a slash forward, and then after a little bit they explode, and the direction they are knocked back in is based on the direction of your camera. So if you turn around after you cut them, it'll send them back to you. The last change is just because they had to move True Love Beam onto Vika's kit, and she already had 4 moves, they had to take one out, and so the Vika Grab, which allowed her to grab people who were ragdolled, has been removed. Kurourushi, or Black Death, is a gimmicky all-rounder character who does low combo damage in exchange for bursts of damage to his gimmick. Kuro's passive is the Festering Life Sword. As he hits his opponent, a red bar fills on them, and when it's full, it explodes and deals 20 damage. The way he fills this is with his second and fourth of 1s, all the strikes of his 1, all the attacks of his 2, even when it's blocked, and the slash of the 3. The bar also drains and does damage over time, kind of like Naya's bleed out mechanic. Kuro's special is very simple. Pressing it once summons bugs, pressing it while looking at someone will put the bugs on them, and then if your opponent hits those bugs, it'll blind them. Festering Strikes is a pretty normal barrage move. You can block Festering Strikes, however it still applies the bow. Festering Strikes can't outright hit ragdolls, but like a lot of moves, you can catch them off an uppercut to extend. The one can clash with other attacks, but the timing of it is so tight that it's not worth trying to go for specifically. Kuro's second move is Detach. You throw your arm forward, and if it hits an opponent, it impales them, and then if you press it again, it'll pull them back. If you press Detach while you're in the air, it'll be able to also aim up and down. And you can use this for set play, because when you press it again, it'll still fly back to you, and anyone who's in the trajectory will get hit. If it hits a wall, it'll get stuck in the wall, and you can jump on it. If the attack's blocked, the arm will immediately fly back to you, however it'll still fill the bow a little bit. In terms of combo ability, Detach can hit them if they're ragdolled, however, the pullback is not true, it's not red, meaning that you'll have to force them into a combo once you've pulled them back. While your arm is gone from Detach, pressing Festering will do a little arm barrage. This will go through block on the final hit, and if your opponent has the special bugs on them, it'll pop them. His third move is Chokehold. It's a normal grab move, it's blockable, but it hits ragdoll. But the main strength of it is that it can be used during any of his other attacks. You can even use it while blocking. It's kinda cute. His fourth move is Roach Swarm, and it's a pretty normal, big AoE block bypass. If you press it while you're airborne, it'll let you surf it instead, but it effectively does the same thing. Kuro's ult is Parthenogenesis. It spawns a clone of you that'll stick around and help you fight, and how it works is anytime you wouldn't be able to use your move, either because you're in stun, you're blocking, your move's on cooldown, whatever, the clone will use it for you. And it has its own set of cooldowns, which you'll have to wait for, but it'll just be like a nice little battle buddy. So your clone can do Parthenogenesis too, and you can keep doing this up to a soft cap. Let me show you the count.
Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15? Obviously I'm 16.
So once you have 15, I'm editing this in post because it got nerfed. You can now only do 4 clones max. In clones, you will automatically do your alternate awakening. You can also just skip the clones entirely, and just press G and then your special key to do the tornadoes off the bat. The last thing for Kuro is that, kind of like Mega Beast Shadow Swarm, if you press his ultimate when you're next to a domain, it'll take all of your awakening, but it'll do a special variant where it'll fully destroy the domain. Next up is Ryu or Juken. He got his 4th move, he got a new passive, he got a new special, and he got a good amount of other buffs. Starting with his new move, You Weren't Invited is his new 4. If you just press it, it'll do a little wind up for a punch, and then it sends you flying forward, and it does a good amount of damage, and it does a huge knockback. But if you hold it down, it'll charge it for longer, and it does more damage, but the more important thing is that if you hit a wall instead of a target, it'll send the wall flying back, and it'll go through any other wall it hits, and it'll take anyone it hits with it. Next is his new special, which is very simple. It'll just fix his shoulder, and it heals him up a little bit, and it gives him a little bit of ult back. The one has a new variant where if you use it while you're in the air, it automatically skips to the second half, which is the punch. His first 3 moves can be cancelled early, at any time during the move, by pressing them again. It'll cost a little bit of HP, but it puts the moves in like a 2-second cooldown, which allows you to combo extend. And for the less important link changes, the cutscene move now no longer drains your ultimate while you're using it, and in your base, Appetizer, which is the triple shot, no longer can be aimed after the second projectile. Higuruma got nerfs and he got buffs. Extended swings is now punishable when you block it, which makes sense because it was very safe before. Judgment's Reach now has an air variant, but pressing charges has been heavily nerfed. The second part is no longer true if you hit the first, and so what you're intended to do is use the new variants on 2 and 1 to guard break them if they try to block, which moves Higuruma into being his original concept again, which is just being a 50-50 demon. Besides that, Justice Serve when you don't have the gavel now goes faster. Extended Swings without the gavel now has melee iframes during the windup, so you cannot be stopped doing it without a range attack. And then during the jump forward now, you have full movement, where before you were kind of locked in what you could do. So yeah, beforehand, when you did that little dash forward, you will stun for a little bit before you can move. Now you can just immediately use an attack. And that's all the, important changes.